is called Us and Them. And while I was working on the painting, I realized what the title is, why I was making the work at all. I don't really have an idea, a complete vision of a painting before I start. Hi, my name is Jacobina Ulla and I'm an artist. I have a studio in the River Arts District in Asheville where we have open house too. So come and see me. Also, give me a like, give me a subscribe so that I can continue doing the videos. That said, let's talk a little bit about this painting. Us and Them became the title of the painting. While I was working, it dawned on me that humanity has not changed that much over time. This is a painting that Rembrandt made 400 years ago. It's a painting of Oopjen. Oopjen was a very wealthy woman, and this is her wedding dress. Rembrandt lived 400 years ago in Amsterdam and painted with exactly the same materials as we do today, as I do today. It's oil paint, linseed oil, and linen. And it's actually remarkable that all these years we have maintained the same kind of materials. Now, when he painted, the times were really different, but not that different. We think it is all so different right now, and we think we're so advanced with everything. Yes, we're moving in the digital age. We are pixelating everything. So that's how I saw her hand when I was working on the painting. The painting actually is already 7 years in the making. It has survived Hurricane Ian in Florida, where it got some damage, but now it is totally restored and ready to go. And while I was finishing it, I realized that as humanity, we still deal with the same problems. This woman is pregnant on her wedding day, and it shows the dress is really, she's already far away. In those days, it really caused a scandal, and maybe it would cause it today again. We try to be so good. We try to live according to the Bible or to Christian values, core values of honesty and no sex, no desire before we have a commitment, that kind of stuff. But those days were actually exactly the same. The issues that we are dealing with are exactly the same. The only thing that I thought is different today is that we live in a very fragmented way. All of us, we live in our own little bubble, and it's really hard to see beyond that. That's why I put some humans in every square, and every square represents a little world that we live in. We cannot really see beyond that world. We know how to manage our own little world. Like, okay, I know how much rent I need to pay, I know what my car costs and the phone, and I know how to collect that money in the outside world. That's basically what we all deal with. 400 years ago, of course, there was also a big difference between rich and poor, but in the golden age, when you knew a craft, when you knew how to do something very well, you could step out of your little world, like Rembrandt did. He became very wealthy as a painter. This is what all goes through my mind while I'm painting, and it's fascinating to me to think about that. You can now Google the history and you can learn much more about it. But I wonder if it's really worth it to know all of the stuff about history. I decided to paint the Rijksmuseum underneath it. It's our cultural inheritance. It's in the public domain. The paintings are in the public domain. I am from the Netherlands, and I'm very proud of that part. That we have such a cultural richness that everybody can go to. And we share it with actually really the whole world. And I'm sharing this a little bit with you. Enjoy, come see me at my studio, give me a like, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to welcome you soon at my studio in the River Arts District in Asheville. While I was doing the pixelated version of the lace around her wrist, I was thinking about how fragmented we all are. And that's where the idea of painting very small humans in these squares. Sometimes the squares are bigger, sometimes they're a little bit smaller, sometimes we are in a small world with more than one person, or maybe even a lot of people. But it became more and more clear to me while I was painting how we keep that going. The idea of working for ourselves, buying our home, and the home is for me, my wife, my spouse, my children, and that's about it. How about sharing like they did in the Golden Age? They shared it with the housekeeper, the gardener. There were always many people living in the same house. We don't do that anymore. Maybe now because the housing market has become so tight, so difficult, especially for young people, we are sharing it more and more. I think that's a good thing, actually, to get out of our own little thought process. I use squares a lot because it really, when you look from far away, you can see what it means. I mean, when you're up close, it's just a bunch of squares. When you step out of being so close by, then you see what it means, what the whole picture really is. Now, later I thought, because my little mannequins that I use as models are all working people. They are the normal working people of today. Of course, we have different clothes and we have different gestures even. So that would be the difference with 400 years ago. But these are all working people. They're all doing something. One is raking, another one is digging dirt. There's a lady doing the laundry. The working people maybe are also stronger in their own world than the wealthy people. Like Oopjen is a very wealthy person. And maybe she has more freedom, although 400 years ago, I doubt if those people had more freedom than now. Wealthy people now have all the freedom in the world. So maybe the wealthy people are not that much in a square. And even that I'm going to doubt, because some of them are also very paranoid that other people are going to try to steal their money. I've seen that a lot too. So there's a lot to think about here. The working people may be part of a bigger whole, of a bigger community, of a bigger world, like in the hand. What do you think about it? Can you leave me some comments that we can further work on this process a little bit, what it means to live today in the 2024 age of being a human? with all the problems that are there, or maybe we have made up these problems and they don't even really exist. Maybe we're just one step away from disaster, and we always think that it will last our lifetime. We will not be bothered by it. This all goes through my mind while I'm doing this tedious with a tiny, tiny brush. I actually, from a distance, don't want you to even see these people. These people are modeled after a whole series of tiny, tiny mannequins, but they really look real to me when you look at them up close. So again, subscribe to my channel, and then we're going to the next painting pretty soon.